Mental illness. When we hear these words, many of us feel a little uncertain or uneasy because we don't understand what mental illness is. And perhaps we feel a little scared because of the images portrayed by Hollywood and social media. But if we look at these statistics, we see that as many as 20% of children and youth in Ontario will experience a mental health problem, and 83% of those kids will not receive the treatment that they need. Over 30% of Ontario's parents have had a child miss school due to anxiety, and Canada's youth suicide rate is the third highest in the industrial world. It becomes very clear that something needs to be done, and the first step comes from knowing the signs. Children can develop the same mental health conditions as adults, but their symptoms may be different. Know what to watch for, and this can drastically improve how you can help. Unfortunately, many adults don't know the signs and symptoms of mental illness in children. As a result, many children who could benefit from treatment don't get the help that they need. Furthermore, it's typically up to the adult in a child's life to identify whether the child has a mental health concern. Concerns about stigma associated with mental illness, the use of certain medications, the cost or logistical challenges of treatment might also prevent parents from seeking care for a child who has a suspected mental illness. Now, what mental health conditions affect children? Children can develop all of the same mental health conditions as adults, but sometimes express them differently. For example, depressed children will often show more irritability than depressed adults, who will show maybe more sadness. Children can experience a range of mental health conditions including anxiety disorders, attention deficit/hyperactivity disorder, autism spectrum disorder, eating disorders, mood disorders, and schizophrenia. What are the signs of mental illness in children? Warning signs that your child might have a mental health condition include mood changes. Look for feelings of sadness or withdrawal that last at least 2 weeks, or severe mood swings that cause problems in relationships. Intense feelings. Be aware of feelings of overwhelming fear for no reason and intense enough that they interfere with daily activities. Behavior changes. These include drastic changes in personality as well as dangerous or out of control behavior. Difficulty concentrating. Look for signs of trouble focusing or sitting still, both of which might lead to poor performances in school. Unexplained weight loss. A sudden loss of appetite, frequent vomiting, or use of laxatives. Physical symptoms. Children with mental health conditions might develop headaches and stomach aches rather than sadness or anxiety. Physical harm. Sometimes a mental health condition leads to self-injury or self-harm. This can escalate all the way to suicidal thoughts or attempted suicide. Substance abuse. Some kids may use drugs or alcohols to cope with their feelings. If you are concerned about your child's mental health, first and foremost, consult your child's doctor and describe the behaviors that concern you. Another step to consider is talking to your child's teacher, close friends, or loved ones to see if they notice the same types of changes in behavior in your child. Share this information with your child's doctor as well. Diagnosing mental illness in children can be difficult because young children often have trouble expressing their feelings and normal development varies from child to child. Despite these challenges, a proper diagnosis is an essential part of guiding treatment. That is also why symptoms you observe should not be treated as the final diagnosis. It is the first step to protecting your child's health, and true diagnosis can only come from a trained medical professional. How can I help my child cope with mental illness? The first step is always creating a comfortable environment and an open line of communication with the child so that you're able to recognize a difference in behavior that is unnatural. The second step is providing as much support as you possibly can. Before a child is diagnosed with mental health conditions, parents and children commonly experience feelings of helplessness, anger, and frustration. Ask your child's mental health provider for advice on how to change the way you interact with your child, as well as how to handle difficult behavior. Seek ways to relax and have fun with your child. Praise his or her strengths and abilities. Explore new stress management techniques. To help your child succeed in school, inform your child's teacher and the school counselor that your child has a mental health condition. If you are concerned about your child's mental health, seek advice. Don't avoid getting help for your child out of shame or fear. With appropriate support, you can find out whether your child has a mental health condition and explore treatment options to help him or her thrive.